The government shutdown shit.
Uh,
This is healthy. I like that.
government shutdown 25. Explain. All right, I'll just click the first thing that came up. All right.
Actual government shutdown may be just hours away. And during that last minute meeting at the White House, President Trump and congressional leaders unfortunately failed to broker a deal.
That's right. The clock is ticking. Doug Luzader joining us live with more on this. Doug, good morning.
Bob and Araxia, good morning. The clock is ticking. We have federal agencies now really across the Capitol bracing for what now seems to be inevitable, and that is a partial government shutdown tonight. Democratic leaders emerged from the West Wing of the White House yesterday, empty-handed and casting blame.
The government shuts down. It's because Republicans have decided to shut the government down and hurt the American people.
About the only point of agreement, the meeting between the president and congressional leaders from both parties appeared to go nowhere.
Their hypocrisy is just breathtaking, and it's shameless, and it was on display in the Oval Office.
Republicans want a short-term deal that continues current funding as is while negotiations continue. Democratic leaders, under pressure to stand up to the president, are demanding more money for public broadcasting and a renewal of COVID-era health insurance subsidies. Both sides are taking a risk because voter anger can point in either direction as shutdown signs begin popping up at government sites across the country. And ultimately, the president has some flexibility in how a shutdown rolls out. And there is already talk of permanent layoffs for federal workers.
One White House official told me that they are planning to, quote, inflict maximum pain on Democrats for this. So they are very bullish that they can come out the other side of this in a better position than their opposing party.
And you look at Congress right now, the House really isn't even in town. The Senate is going to take up a measure that the House already passed to keep funding at current levels for a few more weeks while talks continue, but that is not expected to get through the Senate today. You need buy-in from both parties, and it just isn't there. Bob and Araxia.
You showed us some of the signs there in Washington, Doug, already preparing to close perhaps some of the museums there. At national parks, we'll probably see a temporary closure there as well. But I think for the people at home, they're most concerned about their Social Security checks, what's going to happen with that, and federal workers.
Well, Social Security checks will still be mailed. The mail will still be delivered. A lot of other things, though, including museums, as you mentioned, will shut down. As far as federal workers are concerned, it comes down to that delineation of whether they're essential or non-essential as to whether they have to continue working. They will all get paychecks. That is a federal law now, but they may be delayed until after, the shutdown, if it happens, until after it ends.
You said essential, non-essential workers, and it took me back to when COVID started. Do you remember there was the categories people were divided in?
Yeah.
Not very good memories. All right, well, it's not looking good, but we'll continue to follow the story, of course, Doug, and check in with you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
President Trump addresses hundreds of U.S. military senior commanders at an in-person.
Ma, what was your question behind that, bro?
Who was to blame for the government shutdown?
I don't know, man.
It's whoever want to go first.
Oh yeah, Space. Let me compartmentalize this.
I'm on the same sentiment as I was with the farming bailout. I don't know enough as much as I want to really say who's at fault. I listen to both sides, and both sides are pointing at each other, and I'm like, I'm just confused about it. I don't have a specific answer.
So I think this whole thing is about, let's check out the comments. Be humble. We got the numbers. Be humble. So I think this whole thing is really about Medicaid, Medicare, right? And that being funded. And I could be wrong, right? But I think that the Democrats are looking for $40 more billion, correct? To fund that. Y'all know?
I know they're looking for more money, but yeah, that sounds about right from what I recall.
I know. Be humble. Be humble a lot of times on it. But so from what I heard about, the Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, right? Because it seems like this is a topic that's coming back to the table. And the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare was supposed to fund itself, right? So that was pushed by the Democrats. It was supposed to fund itself. So they all voted against the Cadillac. Is it the Cadillac tax? Right. So that's big companies like UPS or say DHL or whatever, post office. They offer real nice medical packages, and then offering that real nice medical packages, they were supposed to be getting taxed, and that was supposed to really fund a good chunk of Medicare and Medicaid, right? And they went to vote, I believe, in 2019. So Trump was in office, wasn't he? Wasn't he in office? Yeah, he was in office. And because it wasn't to take effect right away, the Cadillac tax. So it wasn't to take effect right away. They went to repeal that tax, and they voted, I think, 419-6 to repeal it. So in doing that, you took away the bread or the money that was actually supposed to fund the Medicare, Medicaid. Again, I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it went. So to me, seeing 419-6, and I'm assuming the 6 people that voted to keep the Cadillac tax in place were Democrats, but you had a lot of Democrats saying it was okay to repeal that part. So now you're coming back to the table looking for $40 billion more when it should have been taken care of in the Cadillac tax. Again, that helps a person like me. I think it helps you guys, right? That they did repeal it. However, if this is your bill, Democrats, you should have stood on business and voted the other way. So that's kind of how I look at it. I look at it as being both of these guys is, both of them are responsible for the shutdown, but majority Democrats are responsible for the shutdown because this was your initial bill. Obamacare was you all's thing. And you decided, you know what, we're going to do a bipartisan and we're going to go with the Republicans. And so now you're coming back again, now you're coming back to the table and say, hey, we need $40 billion more to continue to fund, the Medicare, Medicaid. And I put them both together on purpose because that's what it was for.
Do you know, Mo, why because I'm looking up information right now, like why is the government shut down? And it's so far the BBC I'm looking at the BBC website, and it said the shutdown happened because Republicans and Democrats could not agree to pass a bill funding government services into October and beyond. So it's overall a money issue.
Yeah, it's that too. It's that too, and it's like I think one side keeps saying that one side want to give Medicaid to illegal aliens or something like that, and I don't think that's true. It's a lot of people keep saying that, and that's not true. That's half true. That's not true. Because the thing with that is, it's illegal to get undocumented like aliens healthcare. But now what they are talking about is when you come here seeking asylum, because you're not considered illegal yet, and if you come here seeking asylum and you're going through the process, then you may get healthcare from that. So I think that's what they're talking about, where they get healthcare from that, and that's what they got to start. But I blame both, because this don't do nothing but hurt working day people. Like, people have to go to work, and some people gonna get laid off for good, and all this other stuff. So I blame both parties for this, because y'all can sit down somewhere and go talk and come to a resolution that's going to keep this thing funded. Mm-hmm. It seems like we go through this every 3 to 4 months of what the government is going to shut down. And it's like really getting out of hand, because like the government is really sitting up here playing in our faces. Like, facts, sit up here really playing in our faces, and ain't nobody really taking accountability for what's going on, when I think it's both of them. I really do think it's both branches of both parties that got this the way it is right now. I don't put one side on one party. I don't put one side on the other. I put them equally both. It's both of their responsibilities that keep this thing going, in my eye. You muted.
This article seems to suffice for giving information. So this is on BBC.com, and I just typed, this is what I typed in. Why the U.S. government is shut down. It says in the first sentence, the shutdown is on its third day as Republican and Democratic politicians fail to agree a way forward to resolve budget dispute. And then it talks about what you just said, Maul, about people being laid off. But down here, it gives a little bit more in depth. The shutdown happened because Republicans and Democrats could not agree to pass a bill funding government services into October and beyond. Under the U.S. system, the different branches of government have to reach an agreement on spending plans before they come into law. Let's see. The Republicans currently control both chambers of Congress, but in the Senate or upper chamber, they are short 60 votes needed to pass a spending bill, which gives opposition Democrats some negotiating power. They want to see extension of expiring tax credits will make health insurance cheaper for millions of Americans, and for a reversal of Trump's cuts to Medicaid, a government healthcare program used by millions of elderly, disabled, and low-income people. Democrats also oppose the spending cuts to government health agencies. A stopgap bill designed to avoid shutdown was passed in the House or lower chamber, but it did not clear the Senate. But this is that's all I got. That's all I've gathered so far.
It's about Medicaid.
Say that again.
It's about Medicaid. It's about medical.
Yeah, and I have seen, and I'm not saying that I haven't seen any specific, I guess you could say specific information about illegals receiving Medicare, Medicaid, whatever the case. But I did watch the Democrat a clip from the Democratic, or was it the Democratic presidential nomination, the competition, where they all debate each other on the stage, and the question was, does what you're proposing give aid to illegal immigrants, or something to that question? I wish I didn't know we was talking about this. I would have pulled the video up. But every candidate on the stage, including Joe Biden, raised their hand in favor of giving health care to illegals. So I wouldn't be, I'm not surprised that that's a part of the conversation right now. And we do also know that a lot of provisions were given to, I mean, we talked about it here on the podcast. A lot of governmental assistance being given to illegals. Like we talked about, what was it, like $12,000 in food stamps given to illegals, while American people getting 50, 100, 200.
But is it illegals or they're asylum seekers? Because it's a difference.
What's the
Well,
difference?
you can be seeking asylum. The only issue is that when you seek asylum, you have to
go to court and stuff.
You have to go to court, and I heard numbers of upwards of 90% of the people don't go to court to make sure that they're seeking asylum. So you can come over here and say that, right?
Yeah,
but if you don't go to court, then
you become illegal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts you in limbo.
Okay. No, just ask questions. Just ask.
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed too, that a lot of people, it's the shutdown is like a partial shutdown. It's like a lot of people, yes, and they say unpaid leave in the BBC article, which is that's awful. Unpaid leave is crazy. But it's non-essential stuff, which is a saving grace in this. It's like they said museums, they said parks. So now, this sounds like a dumb question. And the more I think about it, it probably is. But the government shut down, and then we saw just in the article now that says 750,000 people will be on unpaid leave. Our taxes go to the government, right?
Mhm.
So if the government is shut down for X amount of time,
Yeah.
why doesn't our why
Yeah. Go ahead, not pay. Go ahead, not pay. Go ahead, not pay. Go ahead. I ain't even gonna put that out there. I don't want the IRS on my ass. I ain't say that IRS.
I'm just asking the question. Like if they shut down and they're not working, the 750,000 people are unpaid, but we're still getting charged taxes.
Yeah, I don't want no pause of that question. I'm cool. I'm good.
Yeah, what they doing with the money?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily what they're doing with the money, but I guess that's a part of it. But
Yeah, look, and I'm not knocking you. It's a great question because look, if you stop getting yours, nigga, I want mine to stop too. But I'm just not fucking with it. Like that's one person that you just don't fuck with. When it come to that, you don't fuck with him. You leave him alone. Jeffrey, they know what I'm talking about. You leave that man alone. Let him rest. He work hard.
I'm gonna have to put the
Maybe we'll revisit it if the shit ain't, what I'm saying, open. If, they don't fully open it up. But, my thing is,
this look like it can go a long time because both of them out there trying to see who's slanging the most. Motherfuckers not budging.
Well, we'll see. Guess that's it.
I don't want no parts of that. You turn this camera off.
You was wilding when you talk about the government, nigga. Hell no. I can talk about the government, but Uncle Sam, that nigga cool with me.
They're gonna have ICE come knocking on space. They're gonna have ICE come knocking on Space's door
with the IRS.
Yeah.
With URSS. With URSS? What is that? URSS?
Just a question. You my Uncle Sam. I should be able to ask you a question.
That's a person that you don't ask questions to.
Yeah, right.
Josh say right. That's a person you don't ask questions to.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Might have found it. Hold on a second. I think I might have found it. I'm just gonna click I'm playing the video I saw. I think this is it.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay.
Oh.
That's wild. That's very wild. That's wild.
And then Joe Biden
That's
gets
what I'm
in
saying.
office.
I don't think the basis is just about undocumented immigrants. I don't think it's just about that. I think it's about Medicaid as a whole.
Oh, for you talking about the government shutdown?
Yeah, I don't think
so
it's just.
too. I think
It's
so
not
too.
about. It's not about just
Yeah.
illegal immigrants. It's about funding Medicaid, right? Because if